October 17th, Tuesday, 2023. And I'm having a little bit of a late start now, actually. So I usually don't use the dishwasher that much because I know I just had some, I don't want to call them traumatic, but I've had some couple mishaps with the dishwasher where I just really did not like, where it's either a mixture of there's something went wrong with it, so it leaked water all over the kitchen floor, then I have to spend an hour just cleaning all the water up, and that's not really that much fun if you ask me. Mixed with a couple other things where if somebody else goes, oh, I'll use the dishwasher, and they put all the things that I do not want in the dishwasher into the dishwasher, like, for example, my knives, my pots and pans that are definitely not dishwasher safe because if they happen to be carbon steel, what's the other one? Cast iron, wooden stuff. It's just, I'd rather just go through the little extra trouble of just hand washing all my dishes and just things, right? Just so that I don't have to worry about anything going wrong with all the stuff that shouldn't belong in the dishwasher, right? And the thing too is, like, there's always a little bit of a disagreement when it comes to stuff like that. People are like, oh, washing the dishes takes too long. But again, like, there's just some things that don't belong in the dishwasher. When I find them in the dishwasher afterwards and they just, maybe they're not completely annihilated and ruined, but they, they still got some age taken off of them. Like, even just sticking a pretty sturdy new, non-stick pan, pot pan, whatever, non-stick whatever, into the dishwasher, you're going to take some years off of that thing, Like, if you just, give it a quick little scrub down with a little dish soap. Maybe sometimes for a majority of non-stick pans, you don't even really need to use soap if, like, it was not that dirty, like if nothing's caked on. You can just give it a quick old wipe down with a little wet towel and then burn off the excess moisture, and you're technically food sanitary, at least for me. I don't know if that's some sort of sacrilegious thing, but I like to think about it this way. If I, for example, make eggs, not even scrambled, just make some eggs on a non-stick pan and they don't stick and there's no residue other than the leftover oil, I'll wipe out the leftover oil, give it a quick rinse under the water, and then put it back on the heat so it can kind of dry off the water. And after it's not hot, not hot enough to melt stuff, I put it back into the pot or into the pan holder thing that I usually have. And I think that's perfectly food grade safe. Like, I'm not running a restaurant, right? Like, I know what's clean and what's not clean in my kitchen. Yeah, there might be some things if you see somebody else doing in their kitchen, you might be a little bit squeamish, but at the same time, if I trust that person, I'm going to trust that it's clean, right? And I trust myself to be clean. I have a pretty, again, I don't have restaurant standard of safety in my little kitchen, in my cooking repertoire, right? But I like to keep everything pretty clean. I know there's a mysterious stain on the ceiling, but I like to guarantee that that is not a biohazard as well, because I don't know, I trust that it's not a biohazard at this point. Why did I go on this entire rant? Well, I decided to use the dishwasher today, and I forgot how long it takes. I don't know if I pressed something wrong. Maybe there's actually something broken. I'm going to go back home after my chest workout to basically an intense puddle in my kitchen that I have to clean up again. But I waited, I think, a good... I don't like when my car does that. Like, I had plenty of room with that car in front of me, but since I wasn't holding onto the brakes because I knew, as a seasoned driver, that I wasn't going to hit it, it still started beeping. It's saying, collision warning, collision warning. I'm not going to collide. I'm smart enough for that. I just feel like there's like an air leak somewhere in my car right now because I hear it. Maybe it's just windy, actually. But yeah, I waited like an hour, hour and a half, and I think that since I don't really use the dishwasher that much, funny enough, the only thing I really use the dishwasher for is as a drying rack for when I finish my dishes and I put them on and let them dry. And I guess at some point, if all the accumulated water from the dripping dishes does, you get a little bit dirty on the door and the stuff inside of it, so I just had to give it a cycle with stuff in it so it kind of cleans itself in a way, right? But it's taking forever. I think it's been, if it's 12:38 right now, I've been waiting for that thing for almost 2 hours. It's not even an over-exaggeration. It's been 2 hours, and that thing is still running right now. And again, I thought about Googling it, but at the same time, I thought, I just let it do its thing. Because what I preferably wanted to do is that I wanted to be able to get the dishes done and let it dry, and then rearrange the dishes again so that there's no water residue left after, maybe an hour of drying. so that I don't have to do any extra drying when I get back home later. But obviously that plan failed and didn't end up working out. Did I actually come the wrong road today? There seems to be a lot of construction on this road right now. I don't know if it's going to interfere with my commute at the moment. But yeah, my day has been delayed because of the dishwasher, which means, do I hate the dishwasher even more? I don't know, actually. I have the slow sign, so I shall slowly come forward. That guy's not going slow, if I'm being honest with you guys. That guy looked like he was going pretty fast, actually. But yeah, chest is on the agenda today. And gosh darn it, will we be hitting chest. I'm thinking 2 sets. The thing is, I say this and it's never ever changing. Before I used to do 8 sets of chest. I think I'm going to lower down to 6 again. I will say one thing though. I'm not sure if yesterday's leg workout was that effective because I am not that sore in my legs right now. So I'm wondering, is it going to do the thing where like the day after it's not that bad, but on the second day it's even worse? So a little bit of testing to them, but I think I could have definitely upped the intensity on my leg day yesterday, at least for what I feel right now. Could I be completely wrong? Could it have been a perfectly good workout? I'm just being a little bit too harsh on myself, and maybe my body's getting used to the extra stimulus that I provide to it. Maybe, but for now, I think the next leg day, I can up the weight and I can go a little bit harder. Like, I'm pretty sure, maybe, I don't know if I should increase the amount of sets, but because I do remember the one before yesterday's leg day, I only did 6 sets of quads, and my quads were annihilated for a couple days afterwards. So definitely think the intensity and the weight was missing. And I think the form could use a little bit of work too. Like, as I said, I think on the deeper hack squat, I need to tinker with my form a little bit because it didn't feel that comfortable. But then I realized if I kind of angle my feet outward a little bit and have my knees kind of flaring out a little bit, it felt a lot more natural while still getting a good quad like workout, as simple it is to say that. So I think a little bit of form adjustment is needed on the next leg day, especially on the hamstring curls too. If I continue to go to the silver gym for the hamstring curl machine, which as I said I'm not a big fan of. But chest, 6 sets, and I think I'm gonna call it good because the last time I did chest, I did 5 sets and I was still sore the next day afterwards. And that was the day I kind of went inconventional. I always forget which one it is. Where I did 5 sets because the incline, the Smith machine was taken, so I did normal barbell. And then after that, the hammer strength Iso-Lateral incline press was taken for a very long time too. So what did I do? I decided to do 1 set of dips. And then I did 2 sets of pec deck, and I called it a day after that, and I still felt like I sufficiently hit my chest that day. But what I want to do today is maybe 6 sets, maybe 5, depending how I feel after the 5th set, or maybe even after the 4th set, is 2 sets of Smith machine incline press, and then maybe 1 set of the hammer strength Iso-Lateral incline press, and then 2 sets of the pec deck, and then to finish it off, 1 set of some high to low cable press flies, whatever I still want to call them, just because I just like how they all feel. Do I need 4 exercises for every single muscle group? Probably not. I'm pretty sure 3 is still a good number, but I just really like every single one of these exercises, and I want to be able to feel all of them, right? And the thing too is, if I still keep, my reps and sets consistent enough, I feel like, adding in another set is not the worst thing in the world, right? Like, I know there's this whole thing of junk volume, but I still think like the whole thing about junk volume and doing too much volume might be kind of like blown out of proportion unless you're doing like 40 sets. I think it's just the main thing of being efficient, making sure you're not overworking your muscles to the point where it's hard to recover from it. Because I feel like you're still going to be making gains, right? Because like I know there's like this scientific study done where they say like there's like a diminishing return if you do too much junk volume. But you're still getting something in return, right? It's not like you're losing stuff. And I know there probably is a point where you start losing, but I feel like I never ever reached a point of me losing, other than me losing time for how long my exercises used to take. But chest, I think that's the plan for now. And then I'm still tinkering about if I want to do 4 sets, 2 sets, or 6 sets. Again, I'm just going to go with feel now at this point, where I feel like I should trust my body. And if I do 2 sets of shoulder or side deltoid exercises and I feel like I require more, I'll do more. If I feel like I sufficiently hit them after 2 sets, I'll stop. It's as simple as that. I'll listen to my body, and then hopefully I can actually understand what my body says now after 10 months of lifting and even more lifts to come. As I said, I'm just so excited to see, like, I can look back on these videos a year from now and see if I look different, act different, think different, or if the things that stayed consistent, why they stayed consistent as well. But without further ado, I'm still a little bit ways away, but I hope to see you next on the Incline Smith machine bench press.
I don't know how much the Smith machines weigh here. That's the first time I've ever stacked a 45 plate on any pressing on a bar. So I'm pretty proud of that, but I don't know, I feel like these are actually lighter than 20 pounds, but it's had 2 good sets of that. I think 1 full set of this heavy should suffice.
The weird grip Pec Deck.
I don't think I'm gonna do this one. bit more form adjustment. Lower the things a little bit and see how this feels. Center. These last remaining chest exercises don't feel that good today, to be honest. Maybe I'll try the Pec Deck again. Back on another Pec Deck, but hopefully this one feels not as so squeaky and it's not the weird shoulder one. Hey. I think that concludes chest for today. Forgot to record the first set of dumbbell raises, and then on the second set I tried using the rear facing camera and I realized I wasn't even in the frame. So 2 sets of this and I call it a day on side deltoids as well.
Because it was pretty fun actually, but yeah, like when I was in the, I was gonna go to that local Dumbbell club thing right there, I can't go back. I was like, when I went down there by myself, it was more of an adventure. I really just felt instead of watching. Yeah. Or sit at a bar and watch people. You have a good group.
You know, one thing I'm not saying like I'm hating this gym now. I don't. If anything, I do like it. But I do miss the comfort of, when you go to a gym for a couple months and like, it's not like I talk to the people there. I mean, the couple people I do say hi to, but you're just used to being in that gym, and I'm not used to being in this gym yet. Because how many days has it been? I did back the first day, did legs, arms, legs, and then, so it's been a total of 4 days in this gym so far now. And that being said, I'm still not fully used to it, especially with the people in it, because not saying like the people here are like vastly different. It's just people at the gym, right? But still, like, when you go to a gym or just even anywhere in general and you kind of get used to familiar faces, I don't have that at this place right now. So it kind of feels a little bit awkward at times when I'm like, I can't tell if somebody's waiting for a machine that I'm using or if they're just waiting. Like, again, if I seen that person around before, I can be, this person's probably trying to work in or to ask me how many sets I have left. But today I was on one of the Pec Deck machines that was really squeaky before I moved on to the even worse one where you have to use like your wing blades to do it. I don't know why I said wing blades, but both of them I did not like. But when I was using the squeaky one, which I did not record at all, there was just this couple just standing next to me, not saying anything. And the thing that they were getting like more and more uncomfortably closer to me, where I'm just like, so I just asked like, hey, are you guys waiting for this machine? They're like, yeah. So in my mind, at first I was like, why don't you just ask instead of just standing uncomfortably close to me while I'm trying to set up the machine? And at that point, I just didn't want confrontation. Maybe they weren't even confrontational at all. Maybe they were just scared to ask, but I didn't like that much personally. Somebody else, it could have been completely fine. So I just gave them the machine because, first of all, I already didn't like it because I don't like the Pec Deck machines at this gym so far, which now I'm kind of debating. Should I do chest at the green gym now then? Because it's actually kind of thinking where I'm just like, I really want to do legs here, but I want to do chest at the green gym because, well, I guess it's a couple of things. Like, I'm more comfortable asking people for a spot at the green gym if, the Smith machines are taken. And also the Smith machine here, like, am I happy that I got to put on a 45 plate today and rep it, even though I know that's not actually 135, because, the Smith machine is not 45-pound barbell, or it's not a 45-pound bar. But still, it felt kind of nice. But there was also a part of me where I'm just like, how much weight does this bar weigh? And it doesn't say anywhere on the machine. And all the little end caps on the bars have been, like, I'm assuming just taken off or flicked off. So I don't know how much that bar weighs, but I think we're going to be pretty close to hitting the 135 incline bench before the end of this year, which is that a little bit daunting now that I think about it, considering it's already October? A little bit, yeah, but honestly, I felt a lot stronger today on a lot of my chest exercises where, like, maybe it's how I've been eating, maybe it's how I've been sleeping, I don't know yet, but I felt like I PR'd at least on the pressing movements. Definitely on the pressing movements. On the Pec Deck and the little high-low flies that I do, they were feeling a little bit off today, which that's what I'm saying. Like, it's even for the cable machine that I use for the high-to-low flies is the same exact machine that they have at the green gym, but it just did not feel right today with the handles that they had. It just felt weird. It felt odd. Oh man, I hate this turn. You might be thinking, whoa, an alternate path? Where are you going, Andy? I'm going to Costco. I'm gonna reward myself with a chicken bake, maybe. Because I always do this thing where, like, if I go, I'm not turning, why is this beeping at me? Where if I go to Costco and I know I'm about to do groceries, I want to treat myself something from the food court, right? But then I always think, well, I just bought all this food. Shouldn't I go home and eat it? That always happens. But I think today I'm actually gonna get myself something from the food court. And it's also nice too. Technically, if I went to the green gym, I'd be even closer to Costco. But I mean, a 2-minute drive compared to what has this been, like a 4-minute drive? I guess it's not the end of the world, right? But Costco, I need to get some egg whites, some eggs, some paper towels, some toilet paper. I think my cousin wanted chocolate milk and chocolate chip cookies, which I'm hoping he can finish all of that by himself, because I'm not eating any of that. Actually, no, maybe I will eat a couple, actually. I don't know why I said that so, like, sinister. I'm like, I'm not gonna eat that chocolate chip cookie. Definitely not gonna eat the chocolate milk, though, because I'm intolerant to lactose. And I don't know if I want to fight that losing. Ah, this guy didn't turn on his blinker and started braking. Oh, please don't lurch out. Hey, look, a Burger King, a relic of the past. But yeah, today's chest and shoulder workout was okay. I definitely think the highlight of today was the 2 pressing movements that I did in the beginning, where Incline Smith definitely felt very, very good today. Felt very nice, actually. And I'm starting to think maybe I should have done more than 1 set on the incline press also, on the Iso-Lateral hammer strength incline press machine, because that also felt really good as well. But in my mind too, I was thinking, since I'm only thinking about doing 1 set, I definitely up the weight and try to go as hard as possible. As you can kind of see where, I was just huffing and puffing and just going. So I like to think that was a good set, but I'm thinking, could I have done another set considering all my fly and lower pec, middle pec dominant movements were not so great today? Because again, I think if I would have considered, I only had one good set on the high to low flies, and the Pec Deck set was also a bit lackluster, if you ask me, in my opinion, in my humble opinion about myself. So chest, all right, but I definitely think if I were to compare the 2 gyms right now, I like the chest stuff at the green gym more currently. Maybe it's just because I'm just more used to it. Maybe I got to get used to this gym a little bit more, but was not a fan of the handles on the cable machines here, considering you can't even switch them off. And even including shoulders, as I kind of mentioned before, I forgot to record the first dumbbell lateral raise set. And then on the second one, I tried using the rear-facing camera to be fancy, because the mirrors here are also extremely clean, which are amazing, actually. I'm not saying mirrors have to be clean at a gym, but these were exceptionally clean, which was quite astounding, actually, if I think about it. But yeah, so I tried using the rear-facing camera, the real camera, and then I wasn't even in frame because I couldn't see myself, right? So that was quite foolish of me. And then I did some cable raises also, but again, it's the issue with the grip attachments that they have here. One of the grips, or actually both of the grips, were just completely annihilated on the rubber part, which at that point I'd rather just have them yank off the rubber so it's just a plastic handle. But obviously I'm not the judge of that, because if I break it, then they go, oh, you have to pay for it. You broke it. Let's see, let's get this parking straightened out. I have arrived at Le Costco. Shopping needs to be done, because the most important part about working out is actually providing yourself with nutrients. So maybe the next cut will be me with a chicken bake. Maybe it'll be me inside a Costco. We don't know yet. But chest and side deltoids have been hit sufficiently. We'll see tomorrow, maybe in 2 days from now. But I make these videos because I want to self-reflect, right? And today was not so great, if I'm being honest. Whew. Costco has been finished. Post-workout meal has also been demolished, clocking in around 50 plus grams of protein, a mysterious amount of carbohydrates, a mysterious amount of fats probably in it also, probably too high in sodium, if I'm being quite honest, clocking in at a total of, if I were just use the Costco menu, just calorie that they have on there, clocking in at a very I'm choking at the thought of it, that I just ate that voraciously. Also, if I were to put it in a specific term, of around the 1,450 calories have been consumed in the past. I think that was literally 11 minutes. I actually don't know how long I was there actually, but that was a little bit frightening if I were to say so myself, considering the fact that yes, do I eat a lot more, especially since I'm on a bulk? Yes, but a hot dog and a whole chicken bake disappeared in front of my eyes after I blinked, where I was like, oh, I'm a little bit hungry, but I also wanted something that can, fully satisfy the macronutrients that I wanted from my second meal of the day, which again was around 50 grams of protein, as many carbs as I can feel tolerable, and then, usually around 800 plus calories per meal. And if I feel like I have anything left over at the end of the day, I can eat like a snack or something and kind of, fill in the gaps for whatever I need, right? But I feel like today might not be needing to fill in the gaps. If anything, I might need to control what I eat in my next meal a little bit more. I'm in a very awkward spot. I'm blocking the path to a road turn-in, and the guy's making eye contact with me. Whoopsies. I'll just scoot up a little bit more. And I'm going to refuse to look to the right of me just in case that guy's glaring me down at the moment. I always hate when that happens where, like, you think the coast is clear, so you go block a turn right. But then, of course, the moment you do that, somebody decides to spawn in, an NPC decides to spawn into the world and just say, hey, you blocked that turn off? Remember it now. Make sure you never forget what you just did. Okay, thankfully somebody let that guy out, but it wasn't me this time. It was not me this time. But yes, to talk about my Costco food court experience once again. So I think it says the chicken bake is around 900 calories and a hot dog is around 600 calories. And for how fast I ate that, I was starving though, because that is one of the worst things I do occasionally, is where I go grocery shopping. Especially recently, ever since I started going to the gym, I usually go grocery shopping after the gym, or usually when I'm hungry, because I don't usually eat then go grocery shopping, because after I eat, I kind of just like being home, if that makes sense. And like I don't know if anybody else is here. After you eat like a good hearty meal, it's not like I don't want to move, but I also don't want to run errands though, because like then it feels kind of heavy on you, And you could say like, oh, what if you just have a light meal? That could be a possibility too, but that ain't me. Let's knock. Ooh, that's actually a little bit too far. You actually see the apples that I bought in the back. I actually brought tote bags with me too this time to kind of ensure that I don't have to carry everything hand in hand. This is actually going to be a pretty long drive back home, so I might cut the car talk short, considering we already had 8 minutes of car talk going to Costco, which could have been a way shorter if I went to the other gym. But yeah, very frightening that I ate almost 1,500 calories in the blink of an eye, and who knows, maybe it is 1,500 calories, because sometimes these food ratings are not always accurate, because not everything is going to be the same size and the same thing and everything. So could be 1,500 calories that I just consumed, could not be. That's the mystery to let my body decide how many calories were in that. Again, not the healthiest meal, might even say a very unhealthy meal, because I'm just going to consider the fact that those two items that I ingested were probably very high in fat, probably very high in sodium, probably pretty high in cholesterol also. So what will I do to combat that? First of all, is I don't eat like that every day, so I don't have to pay the consequences of whatever that's going to do to my body. And since I felt like I had very lacking in terms of fiber in that meal, I'm going to have a lot more vegetables for dinner. So I'm thinking roasted broccoli, roasted carrots. Actually, a lot of roasted vegetables are on the menu tonight. Why? Because roasted vegetables are so easy and they're so delicious. Like, again, maybe in a cutting context, I can maybe boil the vegetables so I don't have the extra calorie from the oils. But in a bulking context, the oil tastes good because, it makes it a lot more crisp and roasted flavor, right? And a couple other calories. Couldn't hurt either. I mean, I could, go severely over my surplus today. But then if I, just don't eat like this again the next couple of days, it's not the end of the world. Like, people have cheat meals and stuff like that. And I don't even really consider myself, or consider this a cheat meal either. I just consider it unhealthier than normal. So I'm going to compensate for it by eating healthier at night, which means still I'm going to get my 50 grams of protein in, so I can get my total of 150. And then just make sure I get enough fiber, which I think I'm going to eat a fruit of some sort, maybe an apple, because I did buy apples and they're right in the back seat right over there. Then a variety of roasted vegetables, and I was thinking broccoli, carrots, and some salad greens to fit my fiber intake, and some multi-grain rice, just because that's what's been made in the house. And I'm thinking 25 grams of protein's worth of egg whites, and maybe a protein shake. Actually, I think that'll be the finisher for today. Actually, I don't know if I can really eat more solid food because I feel like that'd be a little bit too filling. But again, I could be hungrier later too, so I don't really know yet. But that is on the plan. That is on the agenda. It is a very rainy day today, so I got a little bit wet on the way back, on my walk back from the... Should I call it a walk of shame after I just realized how much food I just inhaled at the Costco. I went Kirby mode at Costco today, if I'm being honest. And then also got to take my creatine. I already took my multivitamins for the day, so I'm set on that. So I think the only objective now is making sure I hit my macro, and my most important macro is just making sure I eat enough protein. And my other important thing is I don't have like a set number that I like to drink water, but I like to drink as much as possible because, I'm not drinking Tom Brady amounts of water and probably feeling sick from it. I'm just drinking enough water where I don't feel dehydrated, and as gross as it sounds, to make sure my pee doesn't turn very, very vibrant dark yellow. That's my objective, how much water I want to drink per day. And I know it sounds a funny way to end the video where I say, hey guys, I only drink water enough to make sure my piss is not yellow. But on that note, on this nice rainy day, chest has been hit, side deltoids have been hit. Not the best workout, not the best post-workout meal, but, you can't have every workout be perfect, right? If you strive for perfection, that's a good thing. But if you only strive for perfection, it's going to hurt you mentally. And now I'm even thinking too, where it's like me having not a suboptimal, like today was still a good workout in my opinion, just not the best. But with that in mind, it's like that mindset where I go like, I'm so excited for the next chest day because all the things that I had an issue with, I can either try and resolve, go to a different gym, do different exercises, and kind of make sure that all the learning experience that I got from today of being a not so great workout goes right to the memory bank, and I know how to improve upon it. But on that note, it's been a lot of car talk, a lot of Costco talk. Chest and Costco has been it. Side chesto is the besto. Costco 1,500 calorie challenge in the blink of an eye. And I think that's a wrap.